The Ontario Liberal Leadership Convention is quickly approaching. On March 7th, in a delegated convention, Liberals will choose a successor to Kathleen Wynne. Alvin is one of 6 candidates vying for the job. Welcome to Focus Ontario.
Thanks for having me, Alan.
The one proposal that you've gotten a lot of attention for is your proposal to combine school boards and eliminate a separate school board. Why do you think that's a good idea?
So my kids are in the system. They're actually in a Catholic school right now. But you look at all the strife that's happening right now in terms of not having enough resources in the classroom. Our plan would make sure that every dollar we saved would be reinvested in the classroom to support teachers, to support students. We have duplication in the system right now. We know that if we were able to merge the systems, we'd be able to save some money. There are studies that says we could save between $1.6 and $2 billion a year. So why aren't we willing to do this?
So why is it then that none of the other 5 candidates running for the same position or any actual politician at Queen's Park supports this idea?
Well, Mike Schreiner from the Green Party does, and there are politicians that have talked about it over the years. But there's this fear that there's a small group of people who are, opposed to merging this because they feel that it's something that they deserve. But I feel like we're in a point now in society where we celebrate our differences, where we know we're stronger together if our kids can learn together and from each other, and that we shouldn't separate them based on religion. Right now, our system openly discriminates against kids who are the wrong religion, who can't go to any publicly funded school. It also does openly discriminate against teachers who can't teach at any publicly funded school. Why would we accept that where we don't accept that in our hospitals, whether they be Catholic or not, or anywhere else in the public system?
John Tory famously proposed faith-based schools. He lost a provincial election, lost the leadership of the Tory party. What lesson do you learn from that?
Well, this is the opposite of that. Right? He wanted to extend funding and keep kids separated amongst their religion. What we're trying to propose is one English board for every student that can study there and one French board. And this would allow students to come together of all faiths. They should be able to learn about each other. They should be able to learn in the classroom about world religions and about each other. We shouldn't be separating them based on religion alone.
You don't have any elected experience. You think that plays in your favor going into this?
Yeah, I mean, I think, we did some amazing things as a Liberal government over the 15 years. We also made a lot of mistakes. I think people in Ontario are ready for a fresh start. They're ready for some new ideas. We have a government right now that can't create stickers that stick, can't make license plates that reflect, and they're not focused on the future. Everything that we've started talking about is a focus on how we build a stronger province, and we start that with our education system. I have 3 kids. They're 5, 7, and 9 years old. They're not in school today because this government isn't willing to invest in education, and that's what I want to do.
How would you solve the current impasse with the teachers if you were in charge?
Well, like I said, we could save up to $2 billion a year if we were able to merge the boards. That alone would be enough to end this strike now.
So you would then pay the 2%?
Well, we'd have to negotiate that, but I think there's the cost of living increase is not cost of living is not unreasonable, but it's more around class sizes. We've also proposed to eliminate EQAO testing because it's a waste of money and time. Teachers have said that. ETFO and OSSTF have both said that they could see money being saved through our proposal. And we also want to renegotiate the funding formula to make sure that the right amount of funds are available for students.
Your kids are in the Catholic system?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, and what do the other Catholic parents think of your idea to eliminate Catholic
So it's interesting. I mean, we've had 3 polls since the last election. All of them show a majority of Ontarians from every region of Ontario, of every political stripe. 71% of them support merging our school boards. Among Catholics alone, 40% of them support merging the school boards. So this is something that has changed over time.
I mentioned this is a delegated conference. We know how many delegates going in everybody has, and Mr. Del Duca is way out in front. If you have a position where you are kingmaker, where your move one way or the other would affect things, what do you want? What would be your ask?
I want the other candidates to acknowledge the fact that we have a problem right now that we know what the solution is. That's the education system, but there's also a huge problem that we have in terms of the future economy. I propose a universal basic income. I'm the only candidate that says that we can do this right now. We've done studies across the world, but also here in Canada. In Manitoba, they saw an 8.5% decrease in hospital visits with the universal basic income. They saw domestic violence go down by 44%. These are amazing things that we could have in our society right now if we were willing to do it. So I've told the other candidates, I want to see real progress on our education system moving forward, and real progress in terms of reimagining our social assistance system.
Alvin Tejo, best of luck on March 7th.
Thank you so much, Alvin.
Appreciate it.